I particularly was a great questioner of these things. Where is the proof? I was very fond of saying, where is the proof? The proof of the pudding lies in the eating. And I said, I'll only get proof if I eat something. Great Master gave me something to eat. They found the proof. There's no other proof except to experience it. You can experience it, but to experience, you have to have the basic faith to take one step. And convince yourself with as many questions as you like. You're ready to take the first step, take it. If it works, take the second, otherwise walk back. And do anything else you like. So, there are some things. Can I say I have proof of these things? I was at Harvard University studying there. I had arguments with, and I can't call arguments, discussions with the professors, particularly of philosophy and psychology. They would come and talk to me. As you might remember, 2 of them were expelled from the university at the same time, but I was not responsible for that. Richard Alpert, Timothy Leary, both were there. And they were both expelled for experimenting with mushrooms and drugs and things, LSD, DMT, those things came up at that time. What they were telling me was, whatever you are talking about, these higher levels of consciousness and these experiences can all be generated by suggestion. Hypnosis can do that. Hypnotic suggestion can do these things. You may be undergoing an auto-suggestion. They're automatically suggesting to yourself that these things are actually happening. You are creating it in your mind. Good argument they gave me. I said, that's a very good argument you're giving. I accept it. I am using a very strange method of auto-suggestion by which I get 24/7 happiness. You people are taking Prozac, I know. You people are all in great despondency. They were trying to take care of their depressions. I said, what a good method to learn some kind of auto-suggestion by which you can get these experiences even if they're not real. So from even that point of view, I said it's a good thing to start, but that's not true. The fact is, there are some things which prove themselves beyond a doubt. And I'll tell you 2 items of those, which all of you have. One, that you exist. Do you need proof for that? It's an experience you are having right now that you actually exist. In what form? The body or real or whatever is a secondary question. You don't need a proof. Somebody says you don't exist. You say, no, I know it, I exist. This is self-evident proof. There's a second proof. When you wake up in the morning, you know you are awake. Nobody's ever questioned this. Supposing when you get up in the morning, you don't move. You don't pinch yourself to see if I'm awake or not. You don't even open your eyes. Eyes are closed, you're lying in bed. Same position that you went to sleep, you know you're awake. Now, if 10 people come and say, you're not awake, say, I know I'm awake. How can you tell me? How does this experience of waking up in the morning, which all of us have had, carry its own proof? The reason is, if you carefully examine the reason, that when we wake up, we remember we went to sleep. That's the key. The key is, immediately the memory comes, this is where we slept, the rest was a dream or a sleep state, and we are sure we are awake. The experience of going to the astral plane, causal plane, is awakening, is a higher wakefulness, and carries the same experience that you were already there before you ever came here. Your coming here was not sudden. It came through stages, same stages that you trace back when you find your own truth and your own reality. I'm sharing these things with you because these are practical things. And they should be practiced and understood by practice, not debated. You can't always debate. If you want to debate, you can, just for the sake of fun. But not for the sake of experience and proof. Proof of these wakefulnesses lies in the experience of recall of your being in that state earlier.